because we were the first people to go to camp that last year, we had visitors that came. So they gave us gifts. So sharing it amongst us was actually another problem. I met a whole lot of individuals, but then camp experience was really worth it.
This is Truth Tribe.
A very good afternoon, my beautiful viewers. You're welcome back to the Triple T, the Truth Tribe podcast. And I am your host for today, peace of mind. And I'm not just alone in the studio this afternoon. I have my wonderful co-hosts. He is none other person than your low boy, like he always called himself, Mr.
Destiny. I like keeping it simple.
One day I'll make you not to keep it simple. You keep it very long.
Always remember that God resists the proud and elevate the humble.
Okay, so you're trying to tell me something, yeah?
Mm-hmm. That's how we keep it simple. Thank you.
Okay. So once again, you're welcome back to our May series. And as you all know, we'll be talking about NYSC and beyond. And we have an amazing guest in our midst. All through the month of April, we've been having just the male gender. We also have a female gender. Yes. I am not alone here.
At all.
We are two against one. Yep. So this person is a dynamic individual, an accomplished creative writer, content writer. Wow. A teacher, an entrepreneur. She holds a bachelor's degree in English language.
Only one person.
Only one person. From Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Anambra State. She is currently pursuing a postgraduate in Diploma in Education. She was a member of the editorial crew for the Junior Chamber International in same Nysc, and also held a role of publicity secretary for the Christ Ambassador Student Outreach, Castle, Nysc Chapter 2. She is a certified project manager. In other words, she's going to brief us on all this. The pioneer of Opad Girl Child Projects, through which she reached out to secondary school girls in rural area, educating them on menstrual health and hygiene, very important, and distributing sanitary pads. Hope you came with mine. She is a human resource manager, and during her service year, she served as a zonal secretary of the Nigerian Christian Corpus Fellowship, Akabio Zone. Akpabio Zone. Yes. With a proven track record of leadership, creativity, and community impact, she is committed to excellence, driven by purpose, and passionate about inspiring positive change in every space she enters. All this portfolio for one person. Let's welcome Miss Emeka Chiemerie Victory.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
And going through your profile,
it's a whole lot.
I'm all the maybe.
No, we have to start from somewhere.
I'm telling you. Going through all this, I was just wondering, how come, looking at you look so young and you've achieved so much within a short space of time. But I wouldn't want to go into that now. I just want us to go back a little from where it all started. I want to know, how was your upbringing like? Because someone that have achieved this must have had a good upbringing, a good parenting, a good environment while she was growing up. We want to know that path. Did they contribute to all this?
It's a whole lot.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's nice to be here. So happy. Thank you, the Truth Tribe, for inviting me here this afternoon.
You're welcome.
The pleasure is all ours.
Thank you. All right. So, growing up, was not really growing up was not very easy. Okay. Coming from an environment with so many challenges and things that you have to navigate through by yourself. But then there is always a will when there is a way, because coming from the environment that I came from, it wasn't really a very, let me say, standard living environment. But then with the right parenting and with the right people around you, you find yourself, I found myself navigating through the right path through secondary school and university. Actually, growing up through secondary school, I wasn't really a very jovial person. I wasn't yes, I was melancholic for a very long period. Like it also made me like during secondary school, I had the opportunity to come out for a senior prefect. Someone encouraged me so much, but because I found it difficult to come out and express myself, I couldn't do that. That was secondary school for you. But then at some point in your life, you have to stand up for yourself and say, okay,
This is what I want.
yes, this is what I want to do. And for you to be able to meet people, you have to also show yourself and show up. So that was why during the university, there was a whole lot of changes, not minding where I was.
Sorry. Before we get into the university or the secondary school, there's something you said about your upbringing.
Yes.
Okay, the parenting factor and the environment. I want to understand, how was the environment like? Was it like a ghetto? Was it like, I don't know.
Okay, at some point, like when we were much younger, it was a ghetto area co-camp then.
Okay.
But then at some
The
point,
co-camp
my
in
dad,
Enugu,
yes,
wow.
he built his own house, so we have to move from that environment. And we went to a place that was more secure. He had to monitor our movements.
Your
going
parents
out,
monitored
yes.
your movement.
More
going
like
out
especially
and
my
all.
dad, yes. They gave us
Streets.
curfew in the nights when you have to come back. By this time, you should be in the house
Okay.
and all of that. So he helped us.
So then you didn't target as them being strict.
Every
I know
child
you
will always
should.
see that being strict, yes, because we
Okay.
don't understand that they are trying to protect us.
you.
Yes, but then you will see them as if they are strict. It's not fair. You have to go out. But then for someone like me, I wasn't really the outgoing type, so
it was cool.
I enjoyed it. Yes, but I loved staying inside to read and do other things for myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so your environment could not affect your personality due to the parenting.
Somehow it did.
Because I know that there are kids that no matter how you give them the coffee and everything, they'll still
Who
have a
wants
way
to spoil will
you know.
spoil. Who wants? You can do
There are
anything
peer
you want to
groups
do.
there. Co-camp as a place, man. As of,
It's a whole
I think we are
place.
talking about
It's a community on
2010,
its own.
2009 or
Yes,
so.
thereabouts.
Man, co-camp was so terrible. So you growing up from co-camp and you're this, please, you want to
Oh,
know?
it's self-discipline.
Okay. I like the fact that I wasn't an outgoing person. The family I was coming from, they are strong Christians, and they taught us the ways of God from the beginning to the school and all of that. They were very intentional about it, taking us to programs. At some point, my brother had to step in. We making the life decision of following Christ through our life days and working towards it. Then our personal growth and encounters with God. So somehow it helped. Yes, it helped.
Your brother, was he your senior brother? Or the
Yes,
younger?
yes.
How many are you guys in the family?
Okay,
Are
we
your
are five.
siblings?
I have
Five.
4 brothers.
So you're the only girl.
Yes.
Interesting.
Blessed among men.
And they all senior you or you senior?
I have a younger brother.
Just one.
Yes,
So you're the
just one.
fourth.
Yes, I'm the 4th.
Okay.
Interesting.
So here it stated that you're a certified project manager
Yes.
of Part Girl Child. What year was that?
That was 2024.
Okay.
So you're still in the program or you're out? Is it a one-time thing?
Not really. I don't want it to be a one-time thing, but then for it to go on, I'll have to, establish something, maybe an NGO, so that I can get sponsorship, because I did this under NYSC.
Okay.
Doing
So
my
NYC
service here.
sponsored it.
No, NYSC didn't stop.
So how
sponsor
did
it.
you get the funds?
Okay, it was actually a passion in me to reach out to secondary school girls, because at some point in my workplace, I walked into the restroom and I found one of the workers. She's actually an underage worker, a teenage girl, using clothes
Okay.
for her. And somehow it wasn't hygienic, because some of them don't know how to keep these things.
It's not even somehow, it's not hygienic at
It's
all.
not hygienic at all. So I had to say, how do I help these girls? And then looking at the environment, I found out that there were so many teenage mothers around there. And most times you see that some girls, the reason why they go out to, get into early marriages and all of that is because they don't have the means. Somehow, maybe going to someone that has promised them, okay, I'll provide for you, I'll do this and that for you. It will make them to, take up those things that are somehow, maybe to us that are coming from privileged places, something that is common.
Had the
Yes,
privilege to
we
know
have the
this
privilege. It
stuff.
was very common, something to get a part for yourself. But here we have village children, girls in the rural area, not knowing how to get these things. And even if they want to use clothes, how do they do it so that they won't get infection in the process? So that was what gave birth to the girl child projects that I did.
So the fonts you made use of, was it from your Alawi, the 33K?
It cannot be from there.
So where was it from?
Okay. The thing was, planning a project, you don't have to do it alone. You have to find people that are also passionate about yes. So by God's grace, I had people around me, other core members that want to be part of what I was doing. So I had to bring them in. I had to tell them, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to achieve. How do we go about it? I had to pick one of them that was very good in social media. She had to carry up the media. Every day we make a post on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on different platforms.
So it was
soliciting for financial support from people. And that was how funds started coming in from different angles. Even people that we do not know, they started sending in something. Then before you know, it was enough for us to do the project.
So that means this girl's project took place last year. That means you equally served last year.
Yes, I served last year. The Part Girl Child project was actually this year. It was January this year before I passed out.
Okay, you passed out early this year.
Yes, early this. I was batch A1.
So that means you didn't benefit in the 77.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and you didn't cry.
It was painful because they started promising it as of October last year. Yes. So, but then nothing happened. Still.
I feel your pain. Sorry.
So dear, looking at your profile, there's this other part that is so interesting to me. It's about the entrepreneur. Okay. Educationally, you're something else, and you're also an entrepreneur. I want to know, how were you able to come up with the entrepreneur part? And on the entrepreneur, which part of the entrepreneur is it that you use education as your source of income, or you have a different business that has to do with a source of income, becoming an entrepreneur in the long run? I don't know.
Okay. One thing about me is I'm a very creative person and I like handiwork, like doing something with my hands.
Okay.
So it started from when I was very much younger. I saw that I was able to bring things together, like I could remember 5-6 years, we can use pipes to make something like coral beads and all of that. So I loved creativity. So at some point I wanted to do something with it since I am passionate about this. So then during my final year in university, I had to enroll. But then before then, when I was a teenager in my church, there were these ladies that were into decoration. So they come and do decoration in our church. They were church members, so they don't pay. We don't pay them for their services yet. But then we can come around and, assist them. Yes. So there I was able to learn decoration.
Okay.
Within a few years, I was very good in decoration.
As of 6 years old, 7 years old.
No, that was
6 years back.
Yes,
6 years back.
when I was a teenager, before I entered school. Yes, before I entered university. So when I entered university, I started monetizing that skill.
Okay.
For departmental inductions, different activities they were doing in school, then I will tell them, because I had friends that were departmental heads, I tell them they can tell their friends I do decoration, so they hire me. So when they do, I have to go and hire the things that I need for it. Then I use them and go to work, get some money, and I was saving it up till I had enough to go for the fashion school. So that's
You also went to a fashion school.
Yes. So it was during my final year that I had to, but at some point I stopped because
I was going to ask, how did you combine fashion school
and
it was very difficult, my final year projects and all of that. So I had to stop at some point and tell them that I'll continue later. So when I was done with my projects,
you went back.
I have to go back to the school environment. I have to leave and go back to school, then continue. that was what they did a little before I went for service.
So you graduated when from school?
It's supposed to be 2022, but I had to give all of us 1 year. So
Yeah.
it was 2023, but the actual year of graduation was 2022. Yes.
So right now, as an entrepreneur, you're into decoration. You're also a fashion designer too.
Yes.
Wow. Are you the one that made the dress you're putting on?
Yes.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
Yes, I was actually the one that did.
Wow. I was actually thinking it's already made.
Yes, I
Interesting.
made it myself.
You're recruiting workers here. Maybe I can come and learn one or two.
Yeah, I'll think about that one later.
Okay. So you were trying to tell us about your university days before I cut you short. Okay. So still want to know about those your university days.
Was it Rosie?
Was it rosy with all the combination of entrepreneur, study, and
Okay. My university days was one of a very great adventure because anybody that went to Nysc, we know what I'm talking about, especially staying in Epiode environment.
the
That place.
cultism and so on.
Yes, in my year one, there were a lot of them. Like
So you lived in
midnight.
camp or off camp?
I lived off camp. That was Ifitte, yes. I
Okay.
stayed off campus. Inside school was not very safe, but I think now they are a bit safe.
It's a bit safe now.
Yes.
With the security the
Yes, I
government
think
have
they
to bring in.
involved a private security
Yes.
agency that came in and stepped in and started making things at least a bit stable when it comes to security there. So the security part was really challenging, but then at some point there was peace.
Okay.
Then when it comes to studies, of course you have to keep up, because one thing I liked about my school then was they were very fast. Even with the ASU strike
Strike.
and all of that, when they come back, they still
covered
want us to cover up. So you have to be up and doing.
doing.
So there was a whole lot of discipline with church activity, being an executive in the fellowship. You know, you have to keep to time. Like you have to I had to make time like one of the factors that I don't joke with my time. I keep to time. I'm sorry I came late because I was very involved with a lot of things. That was
Your
why.
sins are forgiven.
But then when it comes to time, I was very, very conscious of it, because even as an executive, we are trained with time management. You have to be in fellowship before the time, and also when we are done, you go back, you have to do the things you have to do, because you don't take because of this and you failed in the other one. There have to be a balance somewhere. So that was how I was able to navigate through school. It was very stressful, but then when your mind is determined to go through something, yes, even your body, we agree to it. Everything within you, we agree to, okay, we are doing this, yes, we are doing this. So that was how I was able to navigate through school.
So your
Right.
course was a 4-year course,
Yeah.
or 5?
It was a 4-year course, but then I also made it 5.
5.
Yes.
Interesting. So your schooling, during your school days, everything you've told us, like you were more of the focused kind of person. So there was nothing like a distraction during your school days. Party,
birthday, picnic.
birthdays, peer group, or
Was it just reading?
or one of the guys disturbing you as a very focused lady? Or you were
Okay.
just eating book all alone.
Yes, morning,
Well,
afternoon, and night.
I will always encourage people that are in school to, get involved with other social things that are happening in school. For instance, I got to know about JCI. I am my roommate in final year, and I actually regretted knowing it when I was almost leaving school, because there are groups and establishments and organizations in school that are there to help you develop in your social skills.
Yeah.
You go out, you meet people, you interact with people, you make friends, you get to know people, you build yourself. They push you beyond just what classroom environment teaches you. So I got to know about JCI, so I have to get involved that same year, and I was part of the editorial crew where they have to send us the things that are happening during the week. We give reports, write it, and send it back. Then we gather something for the magazine. So joining JCI was very, very when I saw they used to have meetings and picnics, but then I wasn't an outgoing person. And then, doing business in school, I have to cut out some things. So if I'm not in church, I'm doing business, or I'm at home, then you still have your own personal life.
Sure.
Yes, because you have to, as a lady, you have to keep up with taking care of yourself so that you won't break down. So I still have my personal life to deal with. So I wasn't really that very much partying type of person or going out. But then I had friends, yes.
So if you were to ask what you would have done different while you were in school, is there anything you would have done differently? Maybe something you regretted. I would have done this, but it's all good.
Yes, I think I would have gotten involved with those organizations better.
Okay.
Like going for their conferences, trying to socialize more outside your school environment, just outside school. Like they had a lot of programs for students that can help you beyond the classroom level. So that I will always say it. I wish I knew.
The friends you had were loners like you too.
Well,
because if they were the outgoing type, they would have dragged you.
Actually, my roommates that dragged me, but then I wasn't. I didn't have if I have friends, I'm that kind of person that if I have friends, I like to keep them close.
Okay.
Yeah, so that made me have few of them in school, aside others that were fellowship.
And they were just like you.
Not really. Everybody is unique in their own way.
Yeah, that's nice. Initially, you talked about the 33K, and somehow it's not like you're regretting the fact that you're not part of the pool that received the 77K. Okay, so I want to look into your experience doing your NYSC, how it was like. Did it worth it?
That's smart.
That's a very big question. Yes, I'd say it's really worth it.
In what way?
Okay, starting from camp.
Okay.
I was hearing a lot of news about the 3 weeks camp,
So
how it's very stressful. Obubra, Cross River State.
Okay, that came about the name. Can you pronounce it again?
Akwabuyo. It's actually a local government.
Akwabuyo.
So, we camped at Obubra.
Okay.
So, staying in camp. When I got to camp, I was made the platoon. I was actually in platoon 1. So I was made the platoon treasurer because there was a whole lot of activities in camp, carnival. Yeah. It was almost every night there were activities. So we had to, contribute something. Money. Yes, it was a fixed amount. It wasn't much. So something comfortable that can help us, do whatever we want to do and still come out the best. I think the most interesting part was being part of the leadership, leading people. We're like, okay, we are doing this. They're always calling you. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? We need to do this. We need to do the other one. And you see, I met a whole lot of different people. At some point, because we were the first people to go to camp that last year, we had visitors that came. Okay. So they gave us gifts. So sharing it amongst us was actually another problem. I met a whole lot of individuals, but then camp experience was really worth it. Aside the environment, meeting people, then being part of the platoon, being actively involved in that is what I would encourage. And if you are going to camp, like people that want to go to camp, or people that are in camp now and you're not involved, please get involved. It's very important.
So during the cultural nights, did you dance?
I didn't know. I'm not.
Hey, why? That is the fun part of it.
No.
You don't know how to dance.
But then I was part of the parade, the last parade that we have to dress. We did a whole lot of practice, and I think that day, the last day of the parade, we were not even very ready. In fact, everybody was blaming somebody for maybe you're not marching well, you are leaving your line and all of that. But because of the love and cooperation we had amongst us as Platoon 1, we actually came out the 3rd position.
Wow.
Like when they announced us, it was a very big celebration. That was the height of
So imagine if you guys had passed it
very well, would have come out the best. But then it helped us to it made us to come together to see that, okay, this person is coming from different environment, but then we bonded so well because of the privilege that camp gave us. But then after 3 weeks, we have to separate. So
did you still
to different local governments?
Did you redeploy or you still stayed
back? No, I stayed back. Okay. That was why I served in Akwabuyo local government of Cross River State. And yes, I do not regret staying back.
What brought you back to Enugu?
I didn't get
what brought you back to Enugu?
Oh,
I
I
just based there.
well, I served in a private university,
Oh,
so it made me see a whole lot of things, work in a formal environment and all of that, meeting people. And I think that was the height of my NYC experience, meeting people and learning a whole lot of things. We didn't really interact with the locals, the people of the, aside the children, school children that we go out to meet every Friday under NCCF. But then aside that, we didn't really go out to meet unless market days, and that was why we didn't speak or we didn't even learn their language and all of that, like we were
Okay.
encouraged to. But then I think Cross River people, they're very warm. And if I didn't stay back, it's not because of the people. And I one thing with life is at some point you have to decide where you want to stay. So I already know what I'm doing after service. That was why I didn't stay back.
okay.
Okay, from your university days, you already had in mind, you had your expectations, you had your
Yes.
plans on what you're going to do during your NYSC. And when you went into it, you dived into it.
Nobody is 100% accurate with what you're
But you
going
have
to
to make
do.
plans.
Yes, but you have to make plans. When you get there, okay, this is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it is. Especially managing your finances. Then that 33K was
It was poor.
we were barely surviving on it because it was really, really poor. Imagine where we go to market. For you to go to market, you have to spend 1,000 naira.
For transport.
For transport, only transport going to market.
That's
Was it
going
that
and
far
coming or
from your-
just
going and coming.
Okay.
The village market though, not going to Calabar itself.
Yeah.
Then you now calculate when you're going to Calabar and coming back. So we had to, be disciplined financially so that what they give you can be able
to save
to
it,
sustain
saving
you for the month. So if that I didn't stay back wasn't because I didn't like the place. No, the place was very good, but then I had to come back because already I have things that I plan to do for myself. That okay, this is what I'm doing after service. That was it.
But I thought Cross River, they paid their governments, they paid
Yeah,
extra
they
stipends.
extra.
No, the state government doesn't.
Or was it because
They
you
didn't
serve in
pay.
a private sector?
No, they
So even the
don't pay
private
anybody.
sector didn't pay you
They didn't
guys
give any
anything.
Okay, the
allowance.
private sector, NYC expects the people that you're working with
To
to
pay
pay
you.
you stipend. That is
Yes,
what it's
stipend,
called. So
yeah.
once it's called stipend, you should know that it's not going to be anything reasonable.
Okay. So what next after NYS?
After your NYSC.
What did you do after your NYS? Still went back to your fashion school?
No. I'll still go back to fashion, but now I'm still practicing the ones I've learned. Into business, full time into decoration business. Then I'm teaching too.
Where?
Most times decoration is in the primary school.
Okay.
So most times decoration is weekend something. So it's, and even if it's weekdays, you still have to find
And
a
this
way.
is your season. Do you know this is after Easter? It's from
Yes.
one trial to the other.
Yes.
Can I be your personal assistant?
Yes, festive seasons like
Yeah.
Easter, Christmas are actually very busy period for us. But then you still have to manage your time and your resources, knowing that time is very, very
Crucial.
important. So furthering my education was one of the things I wanted to do after service. So that was why I had to come back to Enugu to continue with it. Okay, the program I actually enrolled was something that can allow me to work and also go to schools.
So that's being
It's
the
a crash program.
postgraduate.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a crash program. So it's not going to stop me from doing either my business or working full time.
So you're combining your business, working as a teacher, and also running your school.
Yes.
Wow.
So what if all of them clashes at the same time? Boom. What will happen?
You have to give up one.
Okay.
That's where you have a scale of preference. Which one is the most
It's
important
important.
at the
Yeah.
time? Yes.
That's nice.
It's quite overwhelming. Okay, I don't know. I know there are a lot of young folks outside there, and listening to the conversation we had with you, some of them might be aspiring to go through the path which you've passed. Okay, I don't know. What's your advice to them? Is there any reflection that you want to tell them? Okay, do like this, don't do like this, go this way. Because I know you just regretted about a platform you wish
She
knew
joined
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, okay. And we are talking now about the NYS. A lot of people that will tell you, I don't want to serve my country, how much are they paying? But you didn't just go there because of the money. You went there for the knowledge and you were actively involved
In all.
in all. And then you came out so strong and young. Honestly, I'm still so surprised. Okay. So I don't know. Do you have any advice for the young folks outside there?
Okay. What I'd like to say to people listening to me or people aspiring to go for NYC or you're in school is you find your purpose first. It will help you to it will help other things that you're doing to align.
True.
When you know that this is what I am made for, this is what I'm created for, you plan towards it. The thing is, even if everything you planned didn't come to pass, you weren't able to achieve all of them, you will achieve at least 70% of it.
Okay.
So the first thing is finding your purpose. Who am I? What am I here for? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to be known for?
True.
Then you start early to start to, be doing something in that pathway. If it is fashion, business, school, education, make sure you are actively involved.
Oh.
Anywhere you find yourself, don't just say, it doesn't concern me. Well, I just came to this camp to just stay and go. Just deal with. No, don't be like that. Involve yourself, meet people, talk to people. You never can tell the kind of the thing is that in camp you don't even know who is who.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, because everybody's wearing white and white. So, but then when you go out, you meet people, you interact with them, you talk to them, you will see that yes, you are building value, you are building yourself, and you are also expanding your horizon.
And building your relationships.
Yes, so you're also building relationships with people. So I want to advise that get involved. Do not stay dormant. Whether you're an introvert like me, yes.
Whether you're a
can
loner like her.
always- yes, or if you're very an active person, but then you just know that there has to be a stop. Don't overdo it. Don't be too available every time anywhere they see you. No. Build values, build things boundaries that can, okay, for this one I'm not doing it. It helps a lot. It can also help you to know what what is good for you and what is not good for you. Yes, it will help you to avoid so many mistakes that you would have made. Just be focused in that thing. Write it. I will always, if I don't know, I'm a writer, but then even if you're not a writer, just if you can make them like bullet points, just make sure you have written something down that you can look at and say, okay, this is what I want to achieve in so and so time. It helps a lot. That you can break it down. Get books, read books. Books helps a lot. Like if you read, like anybody that reads, you are somehow ahead of others because there are so many information packed into books that you do not know or you cannot
divulge at once.
Yes, like you cannot. What I'm trying to say is you cannot get it if you may most of them you may not get them through human interaction. You still have to sit down and read these things. It will help you to achieve a whole lot in your journey.
That was a whole long journey here. Thank you very much, Kopa. We.
Wow.
We.
Wow.
Okay, our viewers, we have come to the end of today's podcast. They say he who fails to plan, plans to fail. Set your goals straight, know what you want, and go for it. Don't forget to follow us on our social media handles, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You can always click on the subscribe button and you will always be notified.
This is Truth Tribe.